I want you to think about the last time you paid your credit card bill. The full balance. On time. Maybe you even felt a little good about it. A little responsible. Here is something you don't know. Inside the bank that issued that card, there is a word for you. It is not a compliment. They call people like you a deadbeat. I'm not exaggerating, and I'm not using slang. Deadbeat is the actual industry term. It is written in internal documents. It is used in meetings. It is how the credit card industry privately describes a customer who pays their balance in full every month and never carries debt. The person doing everything right. That is the deadbeat. The first time I heard this, I genuinely thought someone was messing with me. I was talking to a guy who used to work in risk analysis at a major card issuer. We were just having a beer, and he said it completely casually, the way you'd mention the weather. I made him repeat it. I said, "Wait, the people who pay on time, the responsible ones, that is the group you call deadbeats." He laughed. And then he said the part that actually made me want to make this video. He said, "Yeah, we don't make money off them. The whole system is built for the other guy." The other guy. I'm going to come back to who the other guy is, because that is the entire secret, and it changes how you should think about the card in your pocket. So here is what I want to do for the next 12 minutes. I'm not going to tell you credit cards are evil. I'm not going to tell you to cut them up. I'm going to show you exactly how a credit card company actually makes its money, who it makes that money from, and why the entire product, the rewards, the points, the cashback, the credit limit, is engineered around a customer that, statistically, the bank hopes you slowly become. Because here is the uncomfortable part. The bank calling you a deadbeat is not the problem. The problem is everything the bank does to stop you from staying one. By the end of this, you'll understand why your credit limit keeps going up, even though you never asked, why the rewards feel so generous, and why none of that is generosity. Okay, let me show you how this actually works. So the first thing to understand is that a credit card company is not really in the business of lending you money. It is in the business of renting you money and hoping you forget to give it back on schedule. Those are two completely different businesses. A lender wants the loan repaid. A renter wants the meter running as long as possible. And the credit card industry, structurally, is the second one. Here is how the money actually splits. A credit card issuer has three main sources of revenue. The first is interchange fees, the small cut the bank takes from the merchant every time you swipe. The second is annual fees and various penalty fees. And the third, by far the largest, is interest. Interest on unpaid balances. And interest is where the entire design of the product comes from. Industry data on this is remarkably consistent. Somewhere around 80 to 85% of credit card profit comes from interest charged on revolving balances. Revolving is the industry word for debt. You carry month to month, which means the vast majority of the money the bank makes comes from people who do not pay in full. If you pay in full, you contribute almost nothing to that 85%. You swipe. The bank earns a small interchange fee from the store, and then you take your rewards and leave. From the bank's point of view, you used the product, enjoyed the benefits, and paid them nothing for the privilege. That is the deadbeat. Not an insult to your character, an insult to your profitability. Which brings us to the second thing. And this is the part that I think genuinely changes how you see your own wallet. If the bank makes its money from people who carry debt, then every feature of the card, every single one, is designed to gently move you from the group that pays in full into the group that doesn't. Think about the rewards. Cashback, travel points, sign-up bonuses. These feel like the bank being generous. They are not. They are a customer acquisition cost. The bank has done the math. They know that a certain percentage of people who sign up chasing the rewards will eventually carry a balance. Maybe not this year. Maybe in year 3, when there is a medical bill, or a job gap, or a car repair, or just a hard month. The rewards are not a gift. They are bait laid down years in advance, priced precisely against the statistical likelihood that you will eventually become profitable. And here is the cleanest proof of this. Watch what happens to your credit limit over time. You never asked for an increase, but every so often, there it is, higher. The bank did that on purpose. A higher limit does almost nothing for a person who pays in full. But for a person who is starting to struggle, a higher limit is the difference between paying off the balance and deciding to just carry it one more month. The credit limit increase is not a reward for good behavior. It is a quiet widening of the door into the room where the bank actually makes its money. Now, I told you at the start I'd come back to the other guy. The customer the whole system is built for. So let me tell you what my friend from the card company told me, because he described that customer with a precision that honestly unsettled me. He said the most profitable customer is not the person who defaults. A default is bad for the bank. They lose the money. The most profitable customer is the person who carries a balance for years, makes the minimum payment every month, never misses, and never quite pays it off. Reliable, stressed, permanent. He called that customer, and I am quoting him exactly, the perfect account. The perfect account is not a wealthy person. It is not a reckless person. It is usually a normal, responsible, slightly overextended person who believes they are temporarily carrying a balance and has been temporarily carrying it for 6 years. The entire machine, the rewards, the limits, the minimum payment design, is tuned to manufacture as many perfect accounts as possible. And once he said it that way, I could not unsee it, because the minimum payment is the third thing, and it is the most elegant trap of all. Here is the third thing. The minimum payment looks like the bank being flexible. It looks like a safety net. We know you can't always pay in full, so just pay this small amount. How understanding of them. But run the actual math on a minimum payment, and something disturbing appears. On a typical credit card balance, making only the minimum payment can stretch the repayment of that debt across, not months, but somewhere between 15 and 20 years. And over that time, the interest you pay can exceed the original purchase itself. You can buy something, pay the minimum faithfully, and end up paying for that item twice. The minimum payment is not a safety net. It is the speed control on the meter. It is set low enough that you can always afford it, which means it is set low enough that you almost never escape it. The bank is not hoping you fail to pay. The bank is hoping you succeed at paying. Slowly. Forever. Now here's the part nobody at any card company really wants to say out loud. None of this is a scandal. None of this is hidden in a vault. It is all there in the disclosures, in the terms, in the industry reports. The reason it works is not secrecy. It is that the product is designed to feel like the opposite of what it is. It feels like a tool that rewards responsibility. It is actually a tool that monetizes the slow erosion of it. The bank profits most, not when you are reckless, and not when you collapse, but when you are doing okay, holding on, making every minimum payment, quietly convinced this is temporary. The system isn't broken. It is working exactly as designed. For the people who designed it, the fact that being a responsible customer makes you worthless to the bank, and being a stressed one makes you valuable, is not a flaw in the product. It is the product. So when a credit card feels generous to you, when the rewards feel good, and the limit keeps rising, that is not the bank liking you. That is the bank investing in you, betting on the version of you that has one bad year. The most powerful thing you can do is to be boring. Be the deadbeat. Pay in full, take the rewards, give them nothing, and understand exactly why they keep trying to change you. Because the day you understand the machine is the day the machine stops working on you. If you want to understand the second half of this, how banks decide your credit limit, and what your credit score is actually measuring, go and watch this video next. And don't forget to like and subscribe to keep on learning how money works.